What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show video. Chewbacca couldn't make it to host tonight, so they brought the closest looking thing. MLB 21 early access is a mere 69 days away, and the official release on 4/20. We know a little bit about MLB 21, but there is still a lot to be discovered. With that being said, here we have new Diamond Dynasty features, some that we do know are coming, and some that would really upgrade Diamond Dynasty and MLB The Show to be possibly the best it's ever been. Now, if you did have the chance last night, hopefully you saw myself alongside Scuffy, Serenity, Scan, Ants, Ray Cheesy, Thuni, and Dude Food on the Holy Grail's Stream Deck podcast, where we talked a lot about MLB 21. Some ideas that I'm going to mention were inspired from the podcast last night, if you guys want to see it in its entirety. It was a really great stream put on by Mr. The Holy Grail. It's going to be down below in the description if you want to see all of that from a bunch of great creators. That being said, let me know what you guys would like to see. New features in MLB The Show 21. Leave a like down below, subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get into it. This is something we've talked about quite extensively on this channel. I believe it to be the biggest disappointment in what was otherwise a really good year of content provided by SDS, but their biggest shortcoming by far and away is the Evolution program, something they hyped up a lot before the game released and proceeded to come out with 5 cards. And 4 of them, the Carlos Gonzalez, Ivan Rodriguez, Eddie Matthews, Dennis Eckersley, we got beginning of the year, and I would have loved to see more of this, but I'm going to talk about a bit else what they could have done. You had missions, you had moments, and basically you went from a low-graded Ivan Rodriguez, a silver card that you got in the XP reward path early on, and you blossomed him up to a diamond. So what I'm proposing is 2 different angles, one of which exactly how they did it to begin the year. Except, instead of 4 cards, give us like 30 cards and make those packs pop up like 6-10 times per XP round, so we have tons of cards to evolution, and we get lower tier cards that blossom into, lower 90-ish diamonds, and then up to 99s towards the end. Give more great cards in the XP reward path. And what else I want them to do, this is something I've also talked about prior on the channel, is with headliner packs. I liked how they did it last year. They had 2 cards, 25 sets, 1 set per week. This year they had 50 sets, 1 card per set, 2 times a week. If you were to give us that main headliner and then give us a bronze, a silver card that we can have in Evolution program, you get that card, which is also sellable on the market. Not too rare, I don't want to be spending 200,000 stubs on a silver card like we did back in MLB 16 with that Joe Mauer, but have that card in packs, have him on the market, and you do an Evolution program with him. Bada bing, bada boom. The same way it's gonna work. Want to talk about this because I think it's pretty important, pretty prevalent. What I think they could do better: add more silver and gold cards to these lower levels before you get to the main card. Kind of like if they had a gold player right here. I don't know why they went away from that. Keep adding more cards. Again, it's good for Battle Royale. It's good for themed events. It's also great for collections, which is a big thing. Collections such as the Mike Trout one, where you have to collect flashback cards. If you introduced more of these throughout the year, it wouldn't seem to so many people as a cash grab. I know it's supposed to be tough to get this card. I got it very early on because I prepared. I knew the shit was coming, but if they offered more of these flashback cards through team affinities, which helps out the grinder, I think it would be perfect and make SDS really even more friendly to NMS, no money spent players. Thinking outside the box here, probably a pipe dream. What if we got a choice pack for some of these so we could choose between 2 to 3 options of what card we want? Yes, it's tough. That would be saying putting 30 to 60 more cards in the game, having the likeness rights to legends and guys to make worthwhile cards of is another issue. But if they did have that, I think Team Affinity would be by far and away the greatest content that we have each year in Diamond Dynasty. Would like to credit Scan the Man Museo for bringing this point up last night. Universal pitch speeds, a big point of contention for a lot of people as far as Diamond Dynasty. Basically, if you don't get it, the lowest levels are on veteran difficulty. That's its own pitch speed. All-Star, that's its own pitch speed. Hall of Fame, that's its own pitch speed. Legend, that's its own pitch speed. You have 4 different ones, which you might think, okay, I'm a World Series player, I'm only an All-Star, it's not a big deal. But for those that are in Hall of Fame, those that are in Legend, when you go from playing those to events which are typically an All-Star throughout the year, it's tough. I play in Hall of Fame. I'm a Hall of Fame warrior for that much. Didn't really see Legend too much this year, if you know what I mean. But even then, Hall of Fame to All-Star is quite a drastic difference. I can imagine what it's like going from the 900 to 1,000 ratings and playing on All-Star, then going back into the 1,000 ratings, playing on Legend pitch speeds. Maybe around Pennant Race would be a good mark. Have this be its own pitch speed throughout the rest of ranked season, and have everything below be tied to difficulty. So All-Star, that would be an All-Star pitch speeds. Spring training, that would be on veteran pitch speeds. So the casual players who don't play much, they don't have to get frustrated trying to learn and try to react to really upscaled pitch speeds. But those that do play the game pretty regularly, maybe the Hall of Fame pitch speed, I could still see those that are just, not very good at the game and kind of stick to the 500-600 rating. Maybe they're not ready for Legend difficulty pitch speeds. I just think it would work really well and not have it be so frustrating going from one game mode to the next. I've talked about this a little bit, but I want to add on to it now. Prestige cards. Build your own prestige cards is really what I'm imploring right here. So you get +3s on everything. Problem is, for a guy like Juan Soto, he has maxed out pretty much all contact and power already. So you're really not getting that much of a boost with him. What I originally thought, and what we were talking about last night on the podcast, to differentiate your prestige card from your opponents. Now, there's 2 different ways they could do this. One would be kind of how an RPG style game mode works. Let's look at Jedi Fallen Order, for example. You have a skill tree. Let's say they allot you 30 or 20-30 upgrade points, and you get to choose how you spend them. You want to have your Juan Soto be 70 speed, have more range in the outfield, you can do that. So you get to pick and choose how to upgrade him that way once you earn the criteria to get the prestige card. Or another way that you could do it that I kind of thought of just now is you have a card, you lock it into the prestige. Of course, that means you cannot sell the card anymore once you lock him in, and you get the prestige card right there. You get the red diamond, but he's not upgraded yet. You upgrade him based on your performance. So you hit a lot of home runs against right-handers, your power against righties is going to go up. You are hitting for a high average against lefties, your contact against lefty gets boosted. I just think this would be a cool, there would be restrictions, of course. There would be a limit to how far you could upgrade them, and it would be a bit more difficult probably. But I just think this would be a curious way of looking at upgrading cards and differentiating yours from the rest. This is an idea from last night. I believe it was Scuffy who originally brought up the proposition. Now, remember earlier in the year, we had Fernando Tatis make Chris Woodward look like a little bitch. The face of the franchise, 89 overall or 88 overall, that got upgraded to a 99 for, I believe it was 48 hours only. What I think, and like I said, I believe Scuffy is the one that originally brought this up, and I agree, what would work really well is what if we had Player of the Week or Players of the Week, and they take some of the week's biggest stars and do the same thing they did with Tatis, inside edge on steroids, for example. Really blow that shit out of the water. Let's say Trevor Story is smoking hot that week. Have his live series be upgraded to 99 for 48 hours. This would have more people use the live series cards, and also it would add so much hype. Remember when that Tatis came out, everybody was fucking floored, as was I. It was super cool, and it makes it so you don't have to spend more money. I think this would be a cool thing to add. Let's say Nolan Arenado lights it up with the Cardinals. He has a great week, reward him. If you already have his live series card, there you go. you can go ahead online and use that card. 48 hours adds tons of hype, and it adds more lineup diversity. Maybe whereas you would usually use a Mike Schmidt card, imagine you use one, for example, you want to replace him because there's a new hot card, you want to use him, you only have a limited time to do so. And finally, Weekend League. I think everybody, including their mother, has been asking for this game mode to be included for like the last 2-3 years and add some more variety to ranked gameplay other than just ranked seasons. Weekend League would offer the best rewards, would offer a chance for tons of people to get tons of games in on the weekend. Do it just like how Madden does it. Have 20, 25 games that you're allotted to play, maybe a little bit less because it's not Madden. MLB games can take 40 minutes to an hour depending on, you know, who you're playing. So maybe make it 10 to 15 games a weekend. And however well you do, the better rewards that you're going to get. I think this would be fantastic. If you're not a competitive player, that's cool. You don't have to play this game mode. In fact, I think it would help out something like ranked seasons. So if you are a bit of a novice or an inexperienced player, it's weekend. I know all the good players, all the titans of MLB The Show are playing Weekend League. I can hop into ranked seasons and maybe get more fair matchups, more even-based matchups. So I think this would work, kill two birds with one stone, and would add tons of excitement. Weekends, streams amongst the community would be very fun to see. And I believe that shall do it for this one. I think that was like 7 things that we talked about here, a lot of which I really don't think is too much of an ask. You know, really, a lot of it is content side. Weekend League is a game mode, but it really shouldn't be that hard to implement. The main barrier in the way would more so just be if they don't want to do it. So again, I just think everybody's been asking for it. Doesn't seem like too tall of a task. And then a lot of stuff I talked about is content based. Adding the Tatis style player of the week, I think that would be amazing. I just think this would make Diamond Dynasty more fun, more enjoyable, and truly make it the best that we have ever seen, continuing to upgrade it year to year and trying to forget about that fucking disgrace that MLB 18 was. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would like to see as far as new features go. 69 days away, baby. Leave a like down below. Subscribe for all MLB 21 content, somewhat all year round, and thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Later, guys out. Yeet.